Hello, and welcome to the Year 12 Information Evening here at Woodkirk Academy. My name is Matthew Warwick-Giles, and I'm the Vice Principal responsible for the quality of education at Key Stage 5 here at Woodkirk. I'd like to start by thanking you for taking the time to watch these videos. There are going to be 3 videos put together by members of the Sixth Form team outlining all of the information that we think you as parents might like to know at this time of year. Usually and ideally we would meet with you in person. Unfortunately, that's not possible this year, so we're going to put these videos out instead, and then there will be an email address at the end where you can contact me and I'll answer individual queries, or for more general things, I'll put out a frequently asked questions sheet within the next week or so. So to start with, I'll just introduce the Sixth Form team. This is who students will have most contact with day to day. There's myself, Mrs. Catherine Clark, the Director of Progress for Key Stage 5, who oversees the academic side of things in the Sixth Form. Mr. Ellis, who oversees the pastoral side of things and is the head of Year 12 and 13. Miss Melchior, who is the Learning Manager for Key Stage 5, and she will work with students individually or in small groups to help them with revision techniques, preparation for assessment, keeping them on track with their work if they're starting to struggle a little bit with the workload or falling behind. And Mrs. Jewell, who is our administrator, and she is available in the office every day to answer students' queries, and she can answer anything that the students may be concerned about or have queries about in there every day for us. So what makes us great here at Woodkirk? Well, we are a large school-based sixth form, and we're proud to be a school-based sixth form, the largest one in the south of Leeds. We offer excellent support and guidance to our students and help them achieve brilliant exam results and make brilliant futures for themselves, whether that's at university or through apprenticeships, employment, whatever they choose to go on and do. But we really think that we do educate the whole student. We are not just about those results at the end. They're important, but it's also important that we turn out well-rounded individuals into society who are there to make a valid and valuable contribution to society. And we really think that we do achieve that here at Woodkirk. Many of you watching this may well have had other students come through the sixth form or other students going to join us in the sixth form in the future. So you may know a little bit about Woodkirk anyway. For those of you that are new to Woodkirk and have students joining us from other schools, this is what we're about. On entering Year 12, students find things difficult. And I think that's going to be true this year more so than ever. Students have had a long time away from the formal education that they're used to, with the structures and routines in place that they like day to day and that help them stay on track. Students are going to have to manage more of their time, and that is definitely true this year. And I'll come on to some of the changes that have been made about the school day in a little while. They are going to be studying less subjects, but with a greater workload. They are going to have to stay on top of that workload. They are going to have to work hard to do that. New rules and more flexibility. Year 12, Year 13 are more flexible in terms of how we treat the students as adults. But we do expect them to reciprocate that and behave responsibly and act within those rules at all times, just as they would have to in a place of work or employment. They may well have to manage a job at the same time. This is a time when many students take on part-time work and the benefits that that brings, and I would encourage that within reason. Many will be starting to think about learning to drive, even booking driving tests already, and there are lots of expectations on them from everyone, and we are here to help them manage that. This is a difficult time. They don't wake up one day and become adults. It's a process. They need to learn how to become adults just as we all did, and we are here to help them with that and support you in helping them with that. So keys to success for the students, and this is very much for students: be organised, make a plan, stick to it, plan how you are going to use all of that time that you've got. Don't do things ad hoc. Decide what you are going to do with your study periods and stick to that. No such thing as free lessons, they are study periods. Be busy and productive. Busy people are successful people. And take advantage of new opportunities. It's a little bit difficult to get involved with things like volunteering at the moment, certainly within school, but if there are opportunities outside of school, take advantage of them. And for parents, please help as much as you can with these things. Encourage them to be organised. I'm not asking you to organise them. They are young adults. They should be organising themselves, but just double check with them. Are you prepared for tomorrow? Have you done all your work? Are you using your time productively? It'll be you that's getting a phone call from us if we are concerned about the way students are using their study time, and that can be avoided by students getting things right from the off. Help provide a constructive working environment for them at home. They will have work to do at home. They are expected to study at least an hour outside of lessons for every hour of contact time that they have. So that's about 5 hours per subject per week is the expectation on those students now. And help them be busy and productive. Encourage them to get a job and encourage them to take on additional activities and responsibilities. It will help them in the long run, and you appreciate that as much as we do. Although one or two students might be reluctant to take those things on, I'm sure they'll soon see the benefits if they get a part-time job and then start making their own money from that. And encourage students to take advantage of new opportunities. There will be opportunities that come available, and please do encourage students to take advantage of those. And we will make as many opportunities as we can available to them over the course of the year, once things are a little bit easier, hopefully, given the current situation with the COVID pandemic. So I'm just going to talk about form time a little bit. Forms are mixed between year 12 and 13, and this is something that we brought in quite successfully last year. Now, unfortunately, students won't be in form to start with. There is no form time during the school day at the moment because of how we are running on a slightly different timetable, a 3-lesson timetable. Students go straight to first lesson. However, students have been assigned a form tutor. Those form tutors have been selected based on the guidance and support that each individual tutor can offer and how we think that fits in with the suites of subjects that the students are studying. Thought has gone into that, and we've tried to match students up as well as we can with their form tutors. Form tutors may well be in contact with students during this time, so students, don't be surprised if you do get contact from your form tutor even though you're not seeing them. And parents, form tutors may contact you at times if there are any pastoral concerns or progress issues. They may be a person to contact you. You have got a form that is appropriate to you, but unfortunately we're not in form at the moment. So being a good student, as I've already said, we like our students to be busy. We like them to have full timetables and make use of their study periods. If you see that students during study periods are coming home, sitting about, not doing anything, I would suggest that they are using that time incorrectly. They should be studying. We don't like students to make excuses. They should be starting to take responsibility for themselves. If there is a reason for something going wrong, by all means put that forwards, but don't make excuses. It is their responsibility to stay on top of their work and their progress, and we would expect them to be able to manage that themselves. Take an interest in their subjects and in more general knowledge. This is an opportunity that they've got to study things that they have chosen and to really enjoy the learning that they undertake. They won't get a time like this again. If they go to university, there might be other expectations and pressures there. This is a time where they can really have a breadth of study and really take an interest in learning generally. We do like students to contribute to society, and Year 12 students are always asked to volunteer in forms lower down in the school and in other ways around the school, helping in subjects or within the community. We appreciate that at the moment that's very difficult, so it's not something that we're going to pursue at the minute, but once we can, we will. I always say to the students, if they want to be treated like adults, they must behave like adults, and that has never been more true than now. We expect our students at the moment to be the extra adults around the site, to act as adults, to set a good example to students in lower year groups. And we would take a very dim view of students who can't manage that. They should never have nothing to do, and they should be socialising appropriately at appropriate times. We appreciate that groups of more than 6 students will mix in school. That's the nature of their lessons. It's how schools are set up. But we would also ask that they are responsible young adults in the community and stick to the rules that are in place at any given time. And we know that those often change, and we will communicate that with students, as I'm sure you will as parents. So our expectations are high. We expect the very best of our students: positive work ethic, excellent progress and learning, excellent conduct and excellent aspirations. We want our students to have high aspirations of themselves, just as we have of them. They should be aiming to attend the very best university they can, get onto the very best apprenticeship that they can, land themselves the very best job that they can at the end of sixth form, whatever it is that they choose to do. We would not expect them to settle, and we will challenge the students where they are saying, oh, a grade B is good enough when they could get a grade A, or a grade E is good enough when they could be getting a grade D or a grade C. We are going to challenge that. We will not settle for second best, and nor should they. And students should expect to be challenged. The challenge will be constructive and positive, but we have high expectations and high aspirations for them, as they should for themselves. If they are going to undertake study here, we expect them to take pride in that study and really work hard to achieve the very best that they can. Space for independent study is limited at the moment, and these are some changes that have had to come into force because of the situation with the pandemic. So, study space for Year 12s is the LRC. There is supervision up there, but students are expected to manage themselves up there. If they are based in the Learning Resource Centre, the LRC, we expect them to be studying. It is not a social area. So students up there, there's no food or drink. They can come down to the sixth form area for that at break times and lunchtime. Teachers know when breaks and lunches are during lessons, and it's written on the board each week when their breaks and lunches are for those students who might have study periods at a given time. The rules for independent study have been made clear to the students, and as I've already said, we will hold them to account over those. Students are not required in school if they do not have a lesson. And this is something that's a little bit different this year. So usually we would have asked students to be in school until 12:25 every day. However, they're not required to attend school if they don't have a lesson this year. That's to manage the number of students on site and also to give them a little bit more freedom. We may ask them to attend if there are concerns around behaviour and conduct, around the progress and learning that they're making, or around attendance and punctuality. And if we ask them to be on site, we expect students to be available until 4 o'clock every day as per the learning agreement. Students are responsible for their attendance, punctuality and progress. And this is something that we really need to stress to them. They need to be responsible for that. We are not responsible for that. We will monitor it. We will work with them to make it as good as we can, but they need to be responsible for, particularly for their timekeeping at this time where the school day is run a little bit differently. If a student is falling behind or they are failing to attend on time or are failing to attend, then they will be required in school. When we revert to the standard day, the timings for year 12 and 13 students, they sign in at 8:50, 9:10 until 12:25. All students are on site in lessons or in study periods, and then they may leave site from 12:25 and either return for lessons in the afternoon or stay home if they don't have a lesson in the afternoon. They're expected to be available until 4 o'clock every day if directed by us or by subject teachers for some additional support. And as I've already said, they are very much expected to be the adults around the site, and we hope that they will live up to that. And so far, we've been very pleased with how the year 12s have settled in this year. I have to say that as well. They have been acting like adults, and we've been very, very impressed with the attitude that they've taken, especially given the amount of time that they've had out of education. We try and offer as many extracurricular activities as we can to students. Obviously, this is very difficult at the moment. On the screen there, you'll see some of the examples of extracurricular activities that we do try and offer. At the moment, there's a very limited amount running. Hopefully, these will become more available during the time. I would encourage students, please, to sign up to the Duke of Edinburgh Gold Award at the moment. That's something that they can be undertaking, even though we're not offering other extracurricular activities in school. Just a quick word on work experience from me. All year 12 students are expected to undertake work experience for a week. This is very difficult at the moment, and I'm going to put some information available on the website with the videos about the work experience that students could undertake remotely. We had 91% of students in 2019 undertake successful work experience placements, and the career staff based in the LRC are happy to meet with students and discuss options for work experience and future prospects and aspirations that students might have. If they require someone to have a conversation with or just a little bit of support, point in the right direction, and they can speak to me and I can send them or set them up with an appointment, or they can go directly to the staff in the LRC. So just finally from me then, this has been a quick tour. I would have taken a little bit longer talking through things had we been face to face. I really want students to make the most of their time here in the sixth form. I want them to study hard, develop wider skills, contribute to society and set themselves up for a really, really positive future. There'll be 2 other videos to watch, as I've already said, one from Mr. Ellis and one from Mrs. Clark. Please have a look through those. Those will explain some aspects of their roles and how they fit in with the sixth form and what their expectations are. If you do have any general questions, please contact me at the email address shown on the screen there. I will contact you back about very individual queries, or I will put out a frequently asked questions sheet for more general things. Thank you for taking the time to watch this, and we wish students every success during their time here at Woodkirk. Thank you.